Yeah, what's up? Huh? They're in the middle. Should have 40%-ish, I think. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Dev. We are in our... All right, let's restart that. What's going on, boys? It's your boy Dev. We are live here in our $100 auction league draft. My home league just started this league. First year, it is a keeper league. So we're going to have the opportunity to keep a couple of guys next year. 2 minutes, we are beginning. And my first auction league ever, so super excited to get into it and see what we can do. So, yeah, Ryan's wishing us good luck. All right, boys. Getting ready, 52 seconds. Let's get after it. All right. Woo. Man, I'm excited. Now, we've got a little bit of a cheat sheet going, and I think we've got a good plan of what we're going to do. But that being said, first time for everything, so we'll see how it goes. Going to grab an energy drink and get juice. Where are the energy drinks? The ones that I just bought. Are they in the car? Let's go. All right. Who's up first on the board? John, up to nominate Aaron Rodgers, quarterback. We want no part of that. Thank you to my beautiful wife for the energy drink. Keeping us focused to draft the dream team. Yes, ma'am. All right. Team Lawrence up to nominate. The Flying Dutchman pick up Aaron Rodgers. Justin Jefferson up on the board. Someone we really like this year and think that he has a ton of upside. He's 51. That's a quarter of our budget. Teeing up the win. Going in. Team Lawrence. Rick Harrison. Who are these people? I'm playing with strangers. $61. 61 is the offer to beat the current better. We are not dropping 60. Jefferson, a stud, but this is a deep league. 3 flex spots, a super flex. Colin up to nominate here. We are number 9 to nominate, so pretty late on that front. Austin Eckler up on the board. Austin Eckler, a running back that dominant, and I love that Chargers offense, but not sure. Some of these top running backs just, I'm not in a deep league like this. I'm not willing to go in on a top running back. Team Barrett up to nominate here. Mitch locks in Austin Eckler, RB1 for $46. Huge bid. Tua up on the board. A quarterback that we actually like for value. Pre-draft value of $2. John goes $8. We are a 2 QB league, and ESPN is under projecting quarterbacks. Barrett, a big Tua guy. $15 for Tua. A little bit Okie time, jumping in, $16. A little bit too rich for our blood, so we are going to pass on him. We're going to pass, but Travis Kelce up on the board. And it is a keeper league. Travis Kelce, 1.5 PPR points per reception for tight ends. One of the most dominant players in the league, no doubt, this year. Somebody that we definitely would be willing to go in on, but $52 for a tight end, just a little too rich for my blood. Right off the rip, I think there's a lot of really good tight ends down the board that we're going to be looking at. And yes, we haven't bought a player yet, but I'm okay with that. The worst thing is going too aggressive in these and then not being able to get guys down the board to fill out your roster. Mitch goes in. Rick Harrison, Dutchman spending some money early on. 2 quarterbacks already locked in. Rick Harrison locks in the top tight end in the league. He's gonna have some dominant performances and gonna be a tough team to beat if he can kind of balance it out the squad. Now I think teeing up, that is Will Felix nominating Jamar Chase, somebody we are very interested in. One of my favorite players. 57 from Team Extrand, looking to get 2 top guys. $56. Team Extrand down to 98 already. Locking in 2 elite options, however. Definitely, Jamar Chase was a guy that we were interested in. However, the talent is there, but in a keeper league, a guy that I'm going to have to pay $61 next year to keep, I just don't see how that's worth it right now. Devontae Adams, undervalued. Devontae Adams for 26 seems ridiculous. He's up to 30. 32. 35, 36. Devontae Adams in a bidding war. Rick Harrison up to nominate. We haven't bid on a player yet. Jahmyr Gibbs, someone we've used a lot this year at RB1 in our mock drafts, and somebody I'm really interested. I'll be interested to see where he goes. Projected value, pre-draft value of $24. He's already up to $28. We got some Lions fans in the building, baby. He is a running back that I think has a tremendous upside. And if he does explode out the gate, keeper value would be significant. However, $31. And we are up to nominate. And we're going to nominate a player that I'm interested to see what his value goes as in Breece Hall. After the signing of Dalvin Cook, it'll be interesting to see where he goes. Pre-draft value of 13. He's already up to 14. Breece Hall, more of a comfortable RB2 guy. His projection now is down to 767, 5 TDs. Pre-draft value almost $10 over his current offer, almost $10 over pre-draft value. People very high on Breece Hall and not someone that I'm interested in. Now, we have taken the cautious approach, which we'll see how it pans out. I've got my eye on a couple of guys that I think Breece Hall, Mitch, and Okie time having a bidding war. Here we go, gentlemen. And Team X-Strand is hurting. $71. X-Strand did not prepare at all for this draft and then jumped in, just going in blind, spending money, and we'll see how it pans out for him. Locking in Eckler, Chase, and Breece Hall as his top 3. We are a 2 QB league. No quarterbacks, no tight ends in his top 3. Going to be interesting to see if he can balance that team out, or he may be in trouble. All right. Cooper Kupp, $45. X-Strand. Oh, I thought X-Strand was going in for Cooper Kupp again. 4,500. Sorry, fixing some settings. Alrighty. Looking at a running back in Derrick Henry that I think has a lot of dominance left, but $40 a little bit too rich for my blood for a full PPR league in a running back that does not catch passes. All right. Christian McCaffrey is my favorite player in the NFL. Now, he's going to go for a lot of money. I like a lot of the running backs down the board. And in a 3-flex league with a full PPR, yes, he's a player that offers a ton of upside, but I'd rather have my wide receivers. And here's where we're going to start to get involved. Here's where we're going to start to get involved, guys. Because we have all of our money still. A running back in Josh Jacobs that I think there is some concern if he will play. He is having some trouble, some interactions with the league, but not the league, but with his team. He was the RB1 last year and had a lot of success, but at $40, I think he's good value, a little bit too rich for my blood. All right, Stephon Diggs, a solid receiver. I think a lot of these guys are forgetting we need 2 quarterbacks, guys. We have a super flex league. Tight end is the top position potentially at 1.5 PPR points. And we've got guys in Mitch and Team Lawrence, 75 and 71, They are going to have their hands full trying to finish out this team. All right. Stephon Diggs up to $37. I think that's good value. I think in Diggs you get a player that he has an extremely high floor, but the ceiling maybe just not the highest. $41 for Diggs. So I think Cooper Kupp at 45 and having Diggs at 41 doesn't make a lot of sense to me because I just think Cooper Kupp has a much better ceiling, but Diggs with the quarterback at Josh Allen. Now, we're going to see if we can grab a player that we're extremely excited about at wide receiver if he gets nominated, and it is our guy, Tyreek Hill. I think the sky's the limit for him. He offers tremendous value. At $45, $46, $47. Now $48. $49 for Dutchman. Do we go 50? We're not going to go 50. Dutchman's going to be in a tough position. I do want to be able to lock in a top-level quarterback. Tyreek Hill at the top of my tiers. I think he was at the top of the tier 2 wide receivers. At $49, he does get outpaced for Cooper Kupp. He is behind, Jefferson and Jamar Chase, as he should be. Saquon Barkley, a running back to be very excited about. But running back, a position of volatility. We have set ourselves up to be able to lock in a lot of depth because we forewent getting those top, first-round guys. We did not pick up a first-round player yet and essentially chose not to. I think it will bode well for the depth of this team. And potentially, if we can land a couple of breakouts, be able to keep them for the next season in 2024. Saquon Barkley, not somebody I'm not spending a quarter of my budget on a running back. This is a 2 running back league, potentially 3 flexes. You could start Saquon Barkley in the flex. I'm looking to go deep on receiver and then start a couple of running backs. We do have 2 quarterback spots, and I just don't think people are truly preparing for 2 quarterbacks. I mean, not a single quarterback has been suggested. Jonathan Taylor, $26. Will he play? That value is crazy. If he plays, he will be an absolute smash pick. And he is only 24. He's an elite talent. I'm just not ready to commit to somebody that could not play. Team Lawrence, $47 left. No quarterbacks. Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, Cooper Kupp. That is an elite team, but no quarterbacks, no tight ends in a super flex and 1.5 PPR points. He will need to hit breakout candidates and get some help on the back end. Bijan, somebody we are super excited about. If we can get him undervalued, this is a player that I'm not huge on running back, but would be somebody that we could potentially pick up. Pre-draft value of $46. We will see where he goes, but I do think that I'm really, really excited about a lot of these second-round wide receivers, and I want to keep my budget for them. At $42, $43, a bit undervalued. It's our turn, and we are going to go for our guy, CeeDee Lamb. in CeeDee Lamb, I think you're talking about a player that has elite level ceiling and I think is vastly undervalued. Last year, almost 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns, and top 10 fantasy receiver. Up to $40, $39, Team X-Strand. There's just too much talent left on the board. We're going to let him bleed, and he is essentially screwed at this point in the draft. So with full budgets is Colin, Okie Time, Team Barrett, Ethan, and me. We are going to have essentially the cleanup of these second-round players, and I think is going to be much better, and we're going to be able to get tremendous values and give ourselves a chance at essentially having a more well-rounded team. We're going to be able to grab whatever quarterbacks we want. Nick Chubb, a great player, but again, I'm not buying into running backs. I would rather go 0 RB, get the wide receivers we need, and the quarterbacks we need, get a top tight end, and feel really good about that. I believe Rick Harrison is actually Ryan. Or no, he's NFL champion Lions maybe. I have no idea who Ryan is. Russell Wilson, not a quarterback I'm interested in. $12 for Russ. There's no part of me that is interested in drafting Russell Wilson. Let's see who Team Lawrence proposes. A couple of these wide receivers. We're going to be extremely competitive here for these second-round wide receivers. Tony Pollard, a running back that I'm really interested in to see where he goes. And I think there is going to begin a tier drop-off for the running back position. But we do have guys like Ken Walker, Ramondre, Aaron Jones, even Najee that I'd really like that I just don't. What is Ben Law doing? What is Team Lawrence doing? $33? You are screwed, buddy. Dude. What is happening? Big dollars being spent for Tony Pollard. I think you're getting a really good running back, but just not going to have that top-level ceiling with all the misses at wide receiver. Now, here is where things get interesting. We've got a couple of guys. We are going to have our pick of the litter of guys that I think can be as competitive as some of those top receivers were. DK Metcalf, probably the guy we are one of the lowest on in this group from T. Higgins up. I just don't know that I'm completely bought into that Seattle offense. There's a lot of mouths to feed, especially with JSN stepping in. We got Zach Charbonnet being drafted. There's too many mouths to feed for me personally. Not somebody I want to draft. $25 I do feel is great value for him, but at the same time, we've got a couple of guys we're extremely excited about and we think can be much better players for us. So Patrick Mahomes, the first legitimate quarterback, gets nominated. Shouldn't say legitimate. I should say top QB option. He will go for a good amount. And we can be involved in this quarterback attack. So Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts, are available. I'm not going to go in on Patrick Mahomes just because I think that QB is really deep, and I think that a lot of these guys just aren't going to have the money to be competitive like we will. And so we're going to let them have him. Rick Harrison. Who the hell is Rick Harrison? Okay. Dutchman nominating John down to $64. Patrick Mahomes, Christian McCaffrey, Tony Pollard. Interesting strategy, essentially knocking out the wide receiver position. And Mark Andrews, somebody I love. Mitch trying to bid. You're not going to get in there, buddy. Yeah, $37. But you are getting a huge position of need. Just a little bit too rich for my blood. And I keep saying that, but I do think that, he is that's just a little bit too expensive. All right. Lamar Jackson, projected value of 20. Think he will outperform that. If he would have gone for $20, somebody we would have picked up. But just looking at the QBs available, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Justin Fields, if we can pick up both the Justins later for $20 each or Lamar Jackson for 31, I'm taking the later quarterbacks, and I'm not thinking twice. So as of now, me and Colin are the only two that have money to spend legitimately. We have how many people with less than $90 left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams with less than 90. We are going to clean up here in a second, guys. Josh Allen, $40. I think that is a good pick, honestly. $40 versus Patrick Mahomes at $48. That's tremendous value, I believe. I think that's tremendous value. And maybe somebody we should have considered, but I just think there's just good quarterbacks down the board that I'd rather have. Rick Harrison locking in. Okay, Garrett Wilson, a guy we are very high on this year, and a guy that I would love to have on our squad. Pre-draft value of 38. And you could tell me and Colin practiced this. We've got interest in the same guys. Kind of got a similar strategy. We'll take him up to 37. $38 is where 39 puts him at CeeDee Lamb territory, and just not somebody that I believe is worth $40. I am high on Garrett Wilson, but I'd rather have some of these other guys I think can also be a problem. So let's go A.J. Brown. Oh, I really thought we were going to get A.J. Brown there for $31. 33. Colin, same interests as us at receiver. And we're going to lock A.J. Brown in here as our wide receiver one for $35. I think that's an absolute steal. Garrett Wilson going $3 above A.J. Brown, a great receiver in a dominant offense. And I think that is a great pick for our first pick. All right. $23 for Burrow. A quarterback that we feel can be top 10. I think that's crazy value for him at 20-something dollars, but I am looking to stack Jalen Hurts. If we can get Jalen Hurts for under $40, that's a value I feel great about. Now, I'm really liking the strategy. In the past, we have gone aggressive and we've gone for guys in mocks. I'm really liking this team so far, and the fact that we just decided to go with A.J. Brown as our wide receiver one, something we did in fantasy last year, and I love that at $35. Now, Amon-Ra St. Brown, probably my next target and a player that I want really bad. Let's say Amon-Ra, Jalen Waddle, Chris Olave, T. Higgins. We gotta walk out with at least two of those guys, and then we've got to get Jalen Hurts as well, and then get one of the next three tight ends. Those are must-haves. Najee Harris going for $23. What is Lawrence doing? All right, Amon-Ra up. A PPR monster that we believe can be a really good option in Detroit. And his value, just being a Lions fan, I will go up to 36. And that's where Colin's going to stop here. And we're going to get Amon-Ra St. Brown. Welcome to the squad. Let's go. And just like that, we get a guy that we really had targeted. Amon-Ra, one of the guys I wanted to walk out of the draft with. 36, if he is a top, either of these guys become top options this year, top three, we can keep them and only have to spend $5 additional, which is amazing. Jalen Waddle, another player we're very interested in. We want to get these receivers going, and I'm willing to wait in running back until the very end, honestly. Now, Jalen Waddle, elite. Chris Olave, we'll go 31. 32. In an offense with Tyreek Hill. We'll let him go. Value we had on him was 32. So, we overspent a couple. I think Amon-Ra, similar value to St. Brown. Olave, another player we really are high on in auctions. I think he could be amazing. $30 value. We'll offer up to 30. 31 for Lions champ. T. Higgins still on the board. Calvin Ridley down the board. Lions champ gets him for 31. I think that's good value. We'll see who comes up. T. Higgins, another guy we're interested in grabbing. Darren Waller, pre-draft value of 7, but it's 1.5 PPR points. He could command targets. He screwed me in back-to-back years of fantasy football, though, staying healthy. If he goes for $10, we'll consider him. $10, $11. As tight end 2, somebody we can lock into the flex if he ends up going crazy. But he is 30 now. He's like in his 30s. And tight ends just don't break out at 31. It doesn't happen. Colin, going to lock in Waller at $15. We'll let him have it. That's a good pick. It's a good potential pick, but in my first auction draft, I'm just not willing to spend my precious money on a project guy or a potential bust. He screwed me too many times. Hurts, this is our guy. We've got to walk away with Hurts. If we can get him. Now, Ethan, taking us in on Hurts. 30 from Colin. We want the stack. 32 from John. Now, I'm torn because I want the stack, but I also want to be able to lock in. Like, we've got Herbert and Fields left. And we'll go up to 35 on Hurts. If we don't get him for 35, we'll walk. I did say under 40. Anything under 40. 39 for John. We're not going to offer 40. We pushed him up. That's fine. He can have him for 39. All right. Now, Debo, someone that's interesting. If he works out, he could be amazing. But, oh my God, $17, $18. I mean, that is very, very cheap for him. $18. I have to draft him at $18. Yep, we're going to take Debo at $18. Gabe Davis, $8. I think we absolutely stole Deebo Samuel. It's our turn to pick. And we are going to try nominate tight end. In George Kittle, a player that honestly, if it ends up working out at $21, I think could be a smash pick, honestly. And a guy that essentially has 2 of the top 5 tight end receiving games in NFL history. So a guy that we feel really good about. But, you know, I do think that we have absolutely crushed this draft. We've got $90 left. We need to address quarterback now that we have our tight end. I was going to go for T. Higgins. We need to Essentially, I want to go extremely hard for either Justin Fields or Justin Herbert. We wanted Justin Herbert, a player we wanted to walk away with out of this draft with. Hey, Matt Weaver. What's up, buddy? Come to watch your favorite sport. Matt Weaver in the chat. Watching his favorite sport, fantasy football. You know, Matt has come to me many times talking about his love for the game, for the sport, the gridiron, blood, sweat, and tears on the football field. Well, now you're about to see it all pay off, Matt. Joe Mixon. Everybody's kind of hurting for money. And thus, I think if we can wait out those two quarterbacks coming up, we may be able to have our pick. We just need Ethan and Colin to kind of lock in some of these running backs. If they can take value down, then Matt, if they can take value down and people continue to burn their money, then we will have less competition for the guys that we want. T. Higgins still on the board. I think he's an elite option. If we hadn't picked up Debo, who I just felt was undervalued at $18, T. Higgins up. This is one of Colin's guys. Ethan locks in Joe Mixon for 24. And we're going to let Colin get T. Higgins here. And with $90 left, we are third for money left by a significant margin. The next closest person is Rick Harrison with $64. So if Colin and Ethan can come down, Ethan with two quarterbacks, he will not be selecting a quarterback anymore. So essentially just competing for quarterback with Colin. And I think that that's something we can feel really good about. Hoping Colin locks in T. Higgins here. I think a tier drop off after Higgins there. Calvin Ridley, somebody will be interested in, but if we can get our QB, would be ecstatic about that. Let's see who he nominates. Running backs we think can be of good values later. David Montgomery for the Lions. Brian Robinson, Miles Sanders would be a huge pickup. And we're fine with Ramondre or any of these guys late. I'm going to be extremely cautious with how we spend money now so we can have a edge later. All right. Dak Prescott could be a good option for QB2. But he launched a shit ton of picks last year, so with other options available, like Trevor Lawrence, like Kirk Cousins, I think we're going to hold off at $14. Well, we'd had to pay $15 for him. Who did Colin lock in? Yep, Colin locked in T. Higgins. So Calvin Ridley up, a player that we literally just said we would be interested to grab. So we'll see what his value goes. Let me see where I had his value around. Showing dominant in camp. I think at $16 he would be a player we could feel good about, but we're going to let him pass. He hasn't played in almost 2 full seasons. So, taking Ridley for 15 is really good value. But, guys down the board, Christian Watson, Amari Cooper, even Keenan Allen. And we still do need to grab a running back. So we may hold off, grab some of those late round wide receivers. Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, even Marquise Brown, Drake London. Like, there's some really good value guys down the board. Drake London, one of the most efficient receivers in the league last year as a rookie. We think that he can give us a competitive edge. So we're gonna hold off on those guys. And we see Colin locking in Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen in his age 31 season now, I believe. And I'm just not big, especially in keeper leagues, on drafting aging players. I do think he can be efficient from a PPR standpoint. But we want to make sure that we're drafting players with elite ceilings, not necessarily elite floors, is kind of the angle I'm taking. So every single player on my team, I feel, has an elite ceiling, but the floor could be lower than that of, say, a Keenan Allen. Travis Etienne, an interesting player. Tank Bigsby has come in, the rookie running back. And Travis Etienne, a player that was not efficient at catching the pass. Bigsby is a good pass catcher. But we did see him catch some passes in college, and Etienne do it at a high level. So he's a player you hope can work out for you. And Ethan drafting him at $25, probably hoping as well. So with $90 remaining, we are the top payroll holder. And we are holding out for our quarterbacks, where we feel we can probably lock in Herbert and Fields if we want to and give ourselves an elite edge at the quarterback position. I mean, that would be a hard duo to beat, having Fields and Herbert. Riley wondering what I'm talking about in the stream. I'm talking about nothing. Nothing at all. Just foosball. It's talking about foosball. Colin going in on Jerry Jeudy for 13. I think that's good value. Ethan looking to stack potentially Jerry Jeudy with a Russell Wilson at quarterback. And he's going to get him $14. Jeudy, not a player I'm necessarily the highest on. I think he is a little bit overrated, but, we've got a lot of good options down the board that I just feel, we will have better options for. Aaron Jones is somebody I would love to grab at running back. I do feel a little bit cautious about taking running backs when we still don't have a quarterback yet. If we are too aggressive, we could miss out on these top-tier quarterbacks that we want, and which we are going to suggest next pick now that we have a $15 advantage over Colin. I think that we can essentially outbid him on anybody. Yes, he wants the stack with Herbert, but we will be fine outbidding him. He's going to get Aaron Jones for $14 is good value. Is good value. In what I think could potentially be a teardrop off. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, that's tough. Ryan getting some good values here, $15, but we're gonna guarantee that we are gonna get our quarterback. Let's suggest Justin Herbert and lock Justin in. Let's let people go and see kind of where he goes. We know that Hurts went for 39. NFL champions going after Herbert with a vengeance. $17, $19, $20, $21. Colin going in for Herbert. He wants the stack with Keenan Allen. $30 for Herbert. Something we could feel really good about. And we're going to get Justin Herbert at 30. Yes, it's a 2 QB league, so you are going to pay. Deshaun Watson at 12. potentially could work out. But we take our starter at quarterback, who I think could break NFL passing records at some point. Oh, Justin Herbert, what a pick. Thanks, Matt. You fucker. I know exactly what you're doing. But I'm glad that Matt can appreciate his favorite sport. Even this is a diehard NFL fan, guys. This is somebody that really takes the game for what it is. Just a passion, just a love that just brings people together. Thanks, buddy, for supporting your sport. So, with $60 left, we have Justin Herbert, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel. We probably overpaid a bit for Justin Herbert, but one of our favorite guys in the league. Justin Fields will be interesting to see where he goes as well. A dominant rusher from the quarterback position. If he goes for anything under 30, we will grab him, but we don't have a running back, and it might be better to just grab like a Jared Goff. 28 would lock us in to the bottom. Right now we are in a position of control. We're going to pass on Fields. Yes, we want those two top QB options, would be dominant, but we don't have a running back yet. We need two more flex spots, and passing, I think, keeps us in the driver's seat for some of those flex spots, because that's everything this is being able to get the guys that you want to get. So now that money is running out, the more we can hold off, the more we can have our pick of the litter, essentially. So when I'm going 0 RB, which I haven't picked a running back through my first 5 picks, we are going to want to grab a pass catching running back, and I don't think with Singletary coming into Houston there, I don't think Dameon Pierce provides a lot of pass catching upside. Okie time, I'm going to grab him for $13. That's fine. Somebody I'm comfortable passing on. So we're going to get our pick of pretty much any of these receivers that we want down the board. Me and Colin are high on pretty much all the same guys. Maybe we should have gone at Fields. I'm not sure. Would have given us tremendous upside, but teeing up the win, if he can put this team together, Deshaun Watson, Bijan Robinson, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, and Justin Fields, a crazy dominant group. Christian Watson, up for $15, would be an elite option. 17, I think, is a bit overvalued for him. I know that pre-draft value is $18. We're going to let him go to Colin. Colin hurting for money at this point. Dameon Pierce, and then would be locking in his third flex spot. Team Barrett up to nominate. Still a lot of really good receivers on the board. Kenneth Walker, somebody you could potentially be looking at for our RB1. $12 for Walker. Even with Zeke coming in, I'm not really worried about Ramondre's role. Amari Cooper, someone that I think will be really good this year. If Deshaun can take the next level jump that we think he can, then I like him a lot around the $16 range. So if he's going for $12, I was about to say, We'd even take him for $14. Yeah, we're going to get Amari for $14. I think that's crazy value. We've gotten some really good values on a lot of these players. Ramondre is somebody I think people are cautious about, but in a 0 RB build, kind of the perfect running back for us. And I think if we could get him for anything less than $15, we would take him. Anything less than 15. If Colin wants to go 15 for him, he can have him, and he's going to get him. Go ahead. That's fine. We'll lock in another top-tier wide receiver. And something we could honestly consider doing, which would be a really interesting strategy. This is somebody, all right, Jared Goff is a player we can stack with Amon-Ra and somebody we think could be a really good quarterback 2 option. But with a bunch of Lions fans around, I think people are high on him. And with quarterbacks still on the board, far above him, Kirk Cousins, we'll let him go. We'll let him go. Taking TJ Hawkinson, another tight end, but with the 1.5 PPR points per game for tight ends, would be someone we could start in our flex. So, should we have gone a couple more dollars for Ramondre? Possibly. But I think this is going to put us in a good position, like we said, to dominate for money-wise. And we are going to look at potentially grabbing our first running back. Or do we double dip on Devontae Smith? Let's see how much TJ Hawkinson goes for. We're going to be looking at TJ Hawkinson here as somebody we could start in our flex with the 2 tight ends. And if George Kittle or Hawkinson don't work out, then we know we have guaranteed dominance in the tight end position. So, I think at $13, that's really good value for us. With receivers down the board. And Team Barrett taking us, we're going to go again for 15. And this is a pick that I'm comfortable making. Barrett going at $16. We'll hold off. At $16, we will hold off. I do think that it would have been nice, but we just have a lot of pieces to still build around. Well, Matt, I'm sorry. I did not pick him, so we'll get him next time. Dallas Goedert, I think for the tight end position, somebody we will look as our backup down the board is Gerald Everett, just because we can probably get him for like $1 and be able to stack him with Justin Herbert. Kyle Pitts as well, because of it's a keeper league. If we draft him and he finally breaks out, which he was dominant on his targets, we potentially set ourselves up to be able to keep him and get a steal. So I think that's going to be something we look to do. Hawkinson goes for 16, and then you get Goddard for 9. I think that is great value. All right, DeAndre Swift could be an interesting target for our RB1 as well. Not sure what his role will be, but it will be pass catcher. If we can get him, if he ends up being the guy there, could be interesting. But with so many mouths to feed in Philly, I'm not really that confident in him being a dominant player on week-to-week basis. Rick Harrison going to grab him for $7. I think there's still a couple of really good RB1s on the board. We would consider doubling up on the Philly offense with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown if we could grab both of them. I think Devontae Smith is in a tier of his own right now, and we would grab him if possible. Anything essentially under, like at $15, that's crazy value. We can outbid Colin right now. That's fine. And at $17, we're going to double up on this Philadelphia offense and get two dominant players. Devontae Smith could be the best wide receiver two in the entire league. I think he gives Jalen Waddle a run for his money, and our team looks crazy. We need to address quarterback two, and we need to address running back. We have not picked a single running back yet. Full zero RB method hitting, which I'm fine with. I think Drake London is a player we would have wanted to go after, but with us picking up Devontae Smith, our flexes are all crazy values. I think that Drake London, a player that we would have gone after for sure, but I think we just need to address the running back position. $29, we are no longer at the top. But we've gotten a lot more players. I did not realize John actually has Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, but he doesn't have a single wide receiver. So, interesting strategy. Deontay Johnson for $7 is unreal. Great value pick by Team Barrett. All right, Alvin Kamara is somebody we think can be an RB1. He's going to be suspended for 3 weeks, but if we can get him for like under $10, that seems like a smash pick. $7 seems crazy value for him. He's only going to miss a couple weeks. We're comfortable with that. At $7, wasn't even paying attention. Miles Sanders, somebody we definitely would have grabbed at his value at $6. But a couple guys we really like still on the board. Anthony Richardson, an interesting pick potentially for QB2. We can offer on him. We'll let him go, though. We do need to start thinking about QB2, potentially picking up, honestly, like Derek Carr, Brock Purdy. We do have two 49ers players, so picking up a guy in Purdy could be a good move. DJ Moore is somebody I think could be a great value pick. Okay, and we're going to select Rashad White here. And this is a player that we would be interested in taking at RB2. Not extremely efficient so far in his career, but somebody that we think could be a really good option in Tampa Bay. If he goes for anything under like $6, I mean, $6 right now. We'll offer $6 on him and hope that we can grab him. So Miles Sanders went for 8. I think Rashad White at 6 is something I would feel good about. Rick Harrison, of course, 1 second is going to grab him. Who are the other alternatives at running back? We're going to let him go. That's fine. We've got some good 0 RB players. I'm really liking Cam Akers, Alexander Madison, somebody we would definitely be interested in. David Montgomery, Javonte Williams. So we've got options at running back. I'm not feeling pressured to get anyone. And I think if we can get those deep players, Evan Ingram, a tight end, we feel like can give us a lot of value. What's wrong? You can be fine. It's just Matt Weaver in here is the only person. I'm just recording for a video, so I'm gonna chop it up anyway, so you're fine.
Hold on, I gotta get ice now. Hi, Matt.
So potentially looking at the tight ends that are left, we want to grab one of these top 3 guys. I'm thinking Kyle Pitts. If we can get Kyle Pitts for anything under $10, that's something I'm really interested in because I think that if he does end up breaking out in a keeper league, he would be a stud to keep. Mike Williams at $5 is crazy. I don't know if we can pass that up. We're gonna, but that seems crazy. There are new guys coming into that offense, but I do like some of the younger guys down the board that I think we can get for like $2 because at this point in the draft, our dollars really, really matter, and so we need to hold on to them. All right. Daniel Jones. Can we get him for $3? He does provide rushing upside, and we feel like they've built around him a little bit. Colin going in on Daniel Jones for $9 when he has 19 left. That would lock in his starting lineup. That's fine because we feel like maybe we can get a guy in Derek Carr down the board that's going to provide similar numbers probably to, that's going to provide similar numbers to a Daniel Jones. Michael Pittman. Not a receiver we're probably interested in. I do want some of these running backs just because I feel like we need to address running back. We have one running back. Our receiving core is unreal. We have a top tight end. So James Conner, also someone we were eyeing for running back. you going to tan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You want to come with?
Hmm?
You want to come with?
No. I'm drafting. $4? Are you kidding? We didn't get our bid in time. James Conner for $3 is a crime. You like that soundbite?
Love you.
Love you. So we would take Connor for 3 is crazy. Madison for 6. Risky pick. Our running backs are risky right now. Goes 7 for Madison. You know, I do think that there is kind of a tier drop off, but with Montgomery, Williams, and Akers still on the board, we're going to pass and see if we can get some of those guys for a bit cheaper. And Kyle Pitts, a player that we're really interested in. I did say if we could get him for anything under $10, we would grab him. And we are going to go for 7. NFL champion Lions going after Pitts as well at $7. I think getting a player who could potentially bust for us, but if he breaks out, lock him into the flex, he will be a stud. So now sitting at $15, we have to be extremely careful. We may be out of the running for another top quarterback. We may be out of the running for any of the top running backs. We may be looking at Brock Purdy and Bryce Young for quarterback 2. We do have John has the most money, so he will be running the table down the stretch. I think that's his strategy at this point. But, yeah. Okay. Now, do I want to hold off on these running backs? You know, we could get guys that we really like in an RB2, zero RB build. We'll nominate David Montgomery and see where he goes. I think he's going to go closer. Because we have Lions fans, I think he's going to go closer to $5. What is my max offer is 7. A player I really like, if we could get him for $5, I'd be happy. I don't think at 6 that it would be smart for us to take him. Just because we already have some Lions exposure. We're already at $15. We have to be smart about the players that we're picking and getting good value. So at $5, he's right around value at this point in the draft. So we're gonna let him pass, even though he was a guy we did want to walk away from this draft with. So with Alvin Kamara out 3 weeks, we need to address the running back position. We got Kyle Pitts, a player we were excited about, but we need to draft a wide receiver or a running back like ASAP. And then we'll get a bunch of dollar receivers down the board. Probably won't be addressing receiver until we get down into the, looking at a Quentin Johnston, somebody that, we feel like we can stack with depth with Herbert, Jordan Addison, Jahan Dotson, JSN, even DJ Chark, Elijah Moore, some of these really cheap guys that might go for $1. We can't afford to spend. If we want a really good, well-balanced team, we cannot afford to spend over like $3 on somebody. Now, I do think Mike Evans is somebody that is worth more than $3. Now, $4, oh my God, I don't know if we can let him go. We've got to offer 4. We've got to offer 4 on Mike Evans. Push Ryan up to 5. You can have him. We'll give him up because he has no quarterbacks. So he's screwed. We'll let him go. We push him up. All right, so looking at our team so far, Terry McLaurin for 3 seems crazy as well, but we just need to address running back at this point in the draft. So our team is Justin Herbert, Alvin Kamara, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Amari Cooper, Devontae Smith, Kyle Pitts. So we need a quarterback 2. We need a running back. We probably need 2 running backs. And J.K. Dobbins, a player that is interesting and somebody that we will definitely consider at like $2. That seems really good value. We'll see if anybody bids on him. Ryan going really hard at running back depth. John going for Dobbins. He did have some injury concerns. I'm okay with waiting on like guys like Brian Robinson, Khalil Herbert, but J.K. Dobbins going for 4. I'd rather have Cam Akers personally. Sky Moore, also another late round guy. We just can't. We just have to wait until we can get those dollar receivers at this point. We got a lot of really good dominant. I mean, our wide receiver room is crazy. I think with our tight end double up, when Kamara gets back with Herbert, and we will be in contention for a playoff spot, absolutely. James Cook is a potential PPR beast. If we could get him for anything less than, if we could get him for $2, okay. $4, $3 is good value for him. Ryan going crazy on running backs right now. Dude, you need a quarterback, man. All right, we've got to start going after, as these running backs disappear, we've got to start going after some of these guys. We have to. Cam Akers, we have to get Akers. We have to get Cam Akers. No ifs, ands, or buts. Sam Laporta. Okay. Kirk Cousins. If we could get him as our QB2, we're feeling really, really good about this draft. I'd go up to $5 on him. I really would. If we could get him for $3. $3 for Kirk Cousins is crazy value. That's amazing. We get our QB2 locked in for $3. $3. And we're sitting at $12, and we've got options here. We don't need another tight end, potentially, because we can get a $1 guy at the end of the draft, like we said, like a Gerald Everett. And we need to address running back, but we have 2 QBs. We've got top. Oh man, I am excited about this team. All right, we're going to nominate Akers, and this is a player we have to come away with. We have got to come away with Cam Akers. We need a running back in a 0 RB build. Dream scenario, we get him for $3 right here, and we're feeling really good about this team. We get Cam Akers for $3. Okay, this is working out tremendously. I couldn't have scripted this up better. Our team is awesome. Our team looks great. We got Justin Herbert, Alvin Kamara, who will be an RB1 when he returns from his suspension. Cam Akers, who's the RB1 in a Rams offense, down the stretch last year, he was a top 10 running back weeks 13 through 18 and was extremely efficient. We've got A.J. Brown and Amon-Ra as our top two. Isaiah Pacheco, somebody we maybe should have considered. He went for $2, but I just don't love taking running backs that don't catch passes. Brian Robinson, I think, will be undervalued. I think we may be able to get him for like $1. Down the board, Jerick McKinnon, Zach Charbonnet, somebody that I'd really consider. Dalvin Cook, another guy. But right now, with this full lineup set, if everybody was starting, dude, our team would be very, very hard to beat. I'm just saying that right now. Our team would be extremely hard to beat. Cousins has all those weapons in Minnesota. I just think we need to hit some stacks down the board. We need to be looking for players that we can stack with those quarterbacks that we picked up. And let's see. Okay, Romeo Doubs goes for $1. Nobody interested in Romeo Doubs. He is a high upside player. Pat Freiermuth nominated here. People are being extremely cautious with their money, and rightfully so. Essentially, we are at $9 with a max bid of $3. So we have one more player. I think two more players. That means that we can bid over $1 on. So we need to be very cautious with who we're taking here. We probably need to get... It's going to be interesting to see what we do here. Brandon Ayuk, we can't go in on that offense again. I just think we slam dunked it. We had a couple of guys that we were eyeing. Kirk Cousins for $3 and Cam Akers for $3. I'm very happy about that. And I think Alvin Kamara at $7. If he is not suspended, he's going for $20. And yeah, because I think that's crazy value. Yes, there's Jamal Williams there, but he's going to be the goal line guy. Alvin Kamara will be the guy. Brandon Ayuk for $3 should be a crime, but we just can't take any more exposure to that 49ers offense. Christian Kirk, another player we'd be interested in for $2, but John can essentially run the table now, and I think this is what he planned, is to just run the table. But his wide receiver one is Romeo Doubs, so I think that we'll see if that works out for him. He does have two top running backs, but his tight end is not great. He has two top QBs. He's going to have a hard time competing. Now, Christian Kirk goes for $5, somebody that people were very interested in. We could be looking Dalvin Cook. I think we're not going to. We're going to look down the board. Khalil Herbert showed flashes in preseason, so if that's a running back we could be excited about picking up for like $2. And then we are looking at just dollar guys down the board. So we don't need another tight end, or we could get another tight end at the very end of the draft. We will need somebody to essentially fill out our wide receiver depth, and we need to get at least one more like decent running back. Marquise Brown at $2 is crazy too, and we probably should consider going Tyler Lockett if he goes for $2. Dalvin Cook for $2. How involved is he going to be in that offense? I think I'd rather have Dalvin Cook than Khalil Herbert, but Bryce Young will be the guy, and if Dalvin Cook doesn't end up being involved, it's tough. Because you think about the Bears run the ball a lot. We with only being able to bet $3, we need to be careful. We can't afford it. Would we have wanted Dalvin Cook? Yes, but we need to be cautious about our money at this point in the draft. And we're missing out on a lot of these guys. It's okay. Geno Smith for $1. So Ryan locks in Geno Smith as his QB1. I think that's a great pick. Jackson Smith and Jigba is a wide receiver we have taken in a good amount of drafts. And I think that somebody we would want to take for sure, but with our max bet of 3, we need at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need 7 players. We only have $9. So we can only bet $2 on 2 different players, and then everybody else is a $1 player. So I think we'll look at some of these guys. Let's nominate Jahan Dotson and see how much he goes for. $2. If we go 3, I think if we go 3, then that would make everyone else a $1 player. So we can't really, if we could do 2 2s or 1 3. And I don't think that's something we want to do. Jahan Dotson would have been awesome, but I think anybody above Jahan Dotson on this rankings, you're not going to get for under $3. Somebody's going to be willing to go higher. Jahan Dotson, $4. Ryan down to 7. He's going $1 every player probably. How many players does he need? Yeah. He's got the same roster as us, but $3 less. $2 less. So he has to go $1. Cannot bid anymore. Mitch going for his quarterback 2. His quarterbacks are Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford. Guys, I'm ecstatic about this team. Let's check out some of these teams. Camera goes off. So let's check out some of these teams as people bid. Kenneth Gainwell. So we've got Colin with Trevor Lawrence, Damian Pierce, Ramondre Stevenson, Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle, Darren Waller, T. Higgins, Keenan Allen, Drake London, and Daniel Jones. $9 left. Has not grabbed a single bench player. So he can only bet $2 once, and then he needs to essentially bet $1 after that. So John kind of cleaning up now. Flex Kenneth Gainwell. Not somebody we're interested in, really. I'd love to get Khalil Herbert for $2. Or even Jamal Williams. And then while Kamara is out, we can start Jamal. And who with Kendre Miller there, he will get some touches. But Jamal will be the guy. And then once Jamal's gone, we can plug Kamara in confidently. Other than that, the running backs we're potentially looking at Khalil Herbert, Brian Robinson, Jamal Williams, Zach Charbonnet. Yeah, Brandon Cooks for $1 is crazy, but nobody else wanted Brandon Cooks. Who else is wide receiver? We do need wide receiver depth. So guys we can get for $1. Quentin Johnson, somebody I really like. For $1. George Pickens would be awesome for $1. Tyler Lockett for $1. Tyler Lockett for $2 seems ridiculous. Just not something I think we can pass up for $2 for him. And we're going to lock in Tyler Lockett for $2. That's a pick I'm really happy with. But we just need to go running backs now. So we have a max bet of $2. Essentially, we take away a lot of our buying power, but we give ourselves an elite ceiling to plug in. Yeah. We don't need another tight end. We're not looking at tight end right now. George Pickens going for $2. That's a player you're really excited about for $2, man. That's great value. That is tremendous value. We just can't afford to. John kind of cleaning up here at the end, to be expected. But I would take our strategy better. I like our strategy better. I think we still get quarterbacks that can be comparable. Justin Herbert has that elite level ceiling. Kirk Cousins, not somebody we really would typically think of having that elite level ceiling, but somebody that can perform at a high level, has the weapons too, and we're excited about. John getting Cortland Sutton, not a player I'm excited about at all. Not going to lie. All right. Brian Robinson, someone we're excited about, but $2 can't beat that. So John is going to start to essentially lose his bidding power after this pick. He will be back to essentially even with us. So well, look at how his strategy worked out for him. Patrick Mahomes, Christian McCaffrey, Tony Pollard, Romeo Doubs, Christian Kirk, Pat Freiermuth, Kenneth Gainwell, Njoku, Pickens, Hurts, Sutton, Robinson. Very interesting. I think outside of his top guys, there's nothing special about his players. Zay Flowers, someone for $1. We're going to nominate Khalil Herbert for $1 or Jamal Williams. I go back and forth because essentially at this point, we're only going to be able to grab the player that we nominate. And then anybody who wants to beat us can try. So I almost want to grab, we need to nominate the player we really want. So, if it's Quentin Johnston, we need to grab him. But we need a running back, Jamal Williams or Khalil Herbert. It's tough. I think we'll go Herbert here because we know he's going to be involved. We're going to nominate Herbert. I think for $1, and John's going to beat us for $2. That's fine. That sucks. Maybe I should have gone someone else. Damn it, dude. Okay. So now we're kind of hoping for Jamal Williams at this point. Damn, dude. Okay. That sucks. Fucking cocksucker. That was a guy we really wanted. Team Lawrence holding a lot of bargaining chips. Odell. No. We need to get a running back, and then we're going dollar picks. And at dollar picks, you can only grab the guys you nominate. So, some of the people that still have money will be able to run the table, like teeing up the win, like Team Lawrence, even Dutchman with $9. So with our situation, unless somebody jumps off the page, unless somebody nominates Jamal Williams, which essentially is someone we really, really want, or Quentin Johnston, I'm not sure I'd pay $2 even for Quentin Johnston just to get the stack. You're not guaranteeing that he's a receiver that's going to jump off the page. Jawan Johnson, yeah, we're just going to get $1 tight end at the very end, and we're probably just going to grab Gerald Everett. And the exciting thing is that we have a lot of potential keepers on our team that we got for like dirt cheap. So like that are young players. So like if Cam Akers goes absolutely nuts and is a top 10 fantasy running back and he normally went for like $35, next year he would, we get to keep him for $8. Like that gives us a tremendous advantage. Obviously like keeping St. Brown or AJ Brown probably won't be possible, but like even Kittle at 21, like if he goes crazy and we want to keep him, we pay $26. He's on our squad. Devontae Smith getting that steal. Amari Cooper getting that. Like that is amazing upside. And Kyle Pitts, $7. If he bursts out, we can keep him for $12. I mean, I feel really good about the players we got. Yeah. Now, do you go JSN or Lockett? If JSN has a historic rookie year or something and you pick them up for $1, you get to keep him for $6 versus Lockett, who's a bit older at 29 maybe now. That's a toss-up, but we do get a player this year who gives us upside. We're trying to win year one for sure, but we do have a lot of young players. So, Colin going to get Nico Collins. Good player. Traylon Burks with the, I believe, LCL sprain. So that's why he's falling a bit. But I do believe he is in a tier of his own right here for all positions. Just hoping somebody doesn't suggest Jamal Williams. Yes, we already have Kamara, but we can lock him in at... That's tough because he's essentially just like a bye week fill or a 3-week temp fill-in. Like we need actual guys that can play for us potentially all year. And so those guys looking down, Jeff Wilson, getting different pieces of that offense in Miami. I think he could be the goal line guy there. Rashad Penny, someone that I also would love to get for $1. Cole Kmet locked in. Zach Charbonnet for $1. Jerick McKinnon for $1. Like these are 0 RB monsters that we think, can give us that upside. It's just going to be interesting down the stretch to see which running back kind of we can get and that people aren't willing to bet on. John locked in 1, 2, 3, 4. So he can bet $2 on one more player. Finding some budget beast on the board for John. Not too mad at that strategy. It's pretty crazy, but Zach Charbonnet here for $1. I think that's a great pick by teeing up the win. Nobody can really afford to go after him. So he's going to end up with a little extra money actually probably at the end of this. Although he may need 11 players still. 10. So he actually can only offer $2 one time. I think everybody kind of getting to the end here. We may go Jeff Wilson. I just don't think Jamal Williams is going to get the opportunity. Antonio Gibson, a good ceiling pick. Man, Wilson or Rashad Penny? That is the question. You want to say that you think Rashad Penny would be involved. I think A.J. Dillon is a low floor. A.J. Dillon's going to be involved is the thing. Like, he's going to have opportunity versus what can you say for these other guys? It's just a huge unknown. Huge unknown. I just think maybe we go for Dillon who, not a crazy productive player, or Rashad Penny, who a good offense, you think that they're going to have scoring opportunities. Like, how good can we expect the Packers to be? But Rashad Penny in a 3-way race versus A.J. Dillon, potentially just a guy. Man, that's a tough one for sure. That's a tough one. I really don't know. I guess maybe potentially go both. We'll go Rashad Penny here. And, if he ends up being the guy and being able to stay healthy, then we potentially get a beast. He's still young. And we'll take a shot on him, It is 0 RB. We're going to probably have to utilize waivers. That's okay. Okay. A.J. Dillon next up. Somebody we considered. Yeah, so at this point, like week one would be Cam Akers and Rashad Penny starting at running back. I don't feel great about that, but nobody has taken Quentin Johnston yet. I do think Michael Thomas is, if he can be healthy, dude, like has the upside to be better than any of these guys in this tier right here. So that's tough. Quinn Johnston as a rookie projected 700 yards. I mean, you're talking about a team that will potentially be in a lot of shootouts, a lot of big games this year. But rookie receivers are just make me nervous. But, I mean, if we can get him, we'll get him. You know, I know we were in 0 RB, so, like, you know, even taking a guy like Devin Singletary is something I'm okay with, too. You'd think Elijah Moore will still be involved probably, so we do probably need to get a third QB at the very end of our run. So I'm thinking like probably like Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, even Sam Howell, just in case. And you want a third QB for sure. Kyler Murray is interesting because he's not going to play now, but he does give us that elite level upside late. That, like, in the playoffs, like, if he's going off, you know, that could be huge for us. So we may pick him up. We can get him for, like, $1. But we will need a QB that can play because Herbert has a bye week in week 5. Okie grabs Traylon Burks late. It's a good pick. Jake Ferguson locking in for teeing up the win. Where is he even on this? Dude, all the way down at $0. We've still got Dalton Kincaid on the board. Jelani Woods, franchise hero. Why is he taking Jake Ferguson? Is he going to be the guy in Dallas? DJ Chark, wide receiver 1 in Carolina. You think he can be a good depth player? This league is just so deep with 8 bench spots that you have to just think about guys with upside. You know, wide receiver 2s, wide receiver 3s on elite offenses. You want pieces of elite offenses. I mean, to be able to get DJ Chark, who's a wide receiver 1 this late for $1, you feel good about that. The reason I won't take Michael Thomas over Quentin Johnston is because it's a keeper, and with Michael Thomas being so old, he's never shown us the ability to stay healthy. I want Quentin Johnston because if he shows promise, I can keep him the following year. So, with that being said, though, I feel like with Jamal still here, like maybe we do lock Jamal in, and then we get that player. You know, Quentin Johnston, towards the top, though, would we be willing to go $2 for Quentin? I think we would. So we're going to go Jamal here, and we're going to hope that we can lock him in for $1. And he can plug in week 1 for us in place of Alvin Kamara. And then when Kamara gets back, we can put Kamara in and he can be the guy. Awesome. All right. Lock in Jamal Williams. I feel good about that. We do have pretty good running back coverage now. Like, you think Penny's going to have options on the goal line with Swift in there too, but you think it's a 1-2 punch. Penny might get a couple carries. Penny's going to be the goal line guy for sure. Gainwell is not the big guy, and then I see Penny getting to punch it in the end zone and filling that role for Philadelphia. Michael Thomas for $1 is crazy, but we do want Quentin Johnston. That's our guy, and Quentin Johnston's somebody that we are willing to spend a couple bucks on. I'm saving my $2 offer for if anybody snipes Quentin Johnston from me, who is the top receiver, we will take him. Samaje Perine, an interesting guy to take as well. Gerald Everett, that's our third tight end we wanted. He's gone. That's okay. I'm not going to spend $2 on my third tight end. Just not going to happen. We'll get somebody. Chiggy's there. Chigozium Okonkwo. Somebody we were interested in. Tight ends down the board. I mean, even if we take Jelani Woods, maybe we should, because Jelani Woods, we are doing Colts franchise on my Madden channel. Go check that out if you haven't seen it. But Jelani Woods has been a stud on there. So maybe we take him just kind of for the memes. Would be fun. Dawson Knox down the board too. I don't understand why he's going so low. They just signed him to a huge contract. That's probably someone we'll just take as tight end 3. But Quentin Johnston is our guy here. I think he's a tier above all these guys. Rondale Moore. This is going to be our $2. Dope. Got him. All right. We got our 3 guys, and now I don't think anybody else can offer more than one, nobody can beat $2. So that's why I automatically got him, is because nobody could beat $2 offered. This team's looking pretty filthy. We will need to pick up another third quarterback. I think we might just go Brock Purdy with this next pick, because there's just nobody I'm really too excited about. As our last running back, like maybe we'll grab like Damian Harris or even like Devon Achane or Tank Bigsby even. Like I think we'll just take one of these like high upside plays. Honestly, we might grab Jerick McKinnon too. Like I think he will be somebody that will be really involved in the pass game. They feel like he can be a good pass catching running back. So we have so much exposure to the 49ers already. I'm torn between going Purdy or going with a running back depth piece, because we only have 1, 2, 3, 4 Jamal Williams. So we do need, all the bye weeks line up. So I can't. Oh no, I'd be fine. Adam Thielen for Rick Harrison. Didn't he take? Oh, no, that was Lions that took DJ Chark. Okay. Devon Achane or Jerick McKinnon? That's the question. We want pieces of elite offenses. Just feel like Jerick McKinnon is going to be somebody that we can start. He's going to catch passes. Not going to run the ball much, so we'll nominate him. All right, so this is going to be our last running back selection. And then we are going to take one more wide receiver. And then we're going to lock in a third quarterback, and then we will be done. So I think my Q, I want Brock Purdy. Be interested in Derek Carr. Jordan Love, and then at wide receiver, you know, we want high upside. We have Kirk Cousins, so maybe going like KJ Osborne. He is now back to the wide receiver 3 role. Zay Jones, I think, is super undervalued. Tyler Boyd. Isaiah Hodgins for the kneecap collectors. An interesting pick. Okay. The team's looking pretty good. I think we really drafted extremely well. We've got a lot of coverage, depth. If the running backs work out, I think we're going to be hard to beat. But I think there's a lot of people with really competitive teams. I do think that we need to be aware of, bye week coverage. I think we are fully covered, but let's see. We've got quarterback coverage. Well, of the quarterbacks we're drafting, we want to draft queued up 9, 6, and 11, and we need coverage for 13 and 5. So we're good there. We will need to look at the wide receivers. So KJ Osborne, someone we're interested in, and then Mooney and Moore. Probably Rondale Moore. But he's just never shown that elite upside, Like he's never been able to take that next step. I almost would rather have Tony, who I know can never stay healthy, but he's a part of that KC offense. Yeah, there goes Rondale Moore. We're going to mark Kadarius Toney. And then we said we might consider taking another tight end. I just would rather have a receiver. We only have 2 receivers on our bench, and we grabbed 3 running backs. So we have 5 running backs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 receivers. I think I'd rather have another receiver than tight end, although Greg Dulcich for $1 would be extremely tempting. So I think if Dulcich makes it back around to us, we will take him. We're up in 3 picks. Yeah. I think we would take Dulcich and then just, look at waivers for a receiver. Tank Bigsby there. That's a good pick by Ryan. And I think we used our money extremely well. In other drafts, we've come out with too much or too little, and I feel pretty good about where we're at. Just really like our bench. I think we have extreme elite upside, and that's what you want to draft for in these drafts. Jameson Williams, he's gonna be out for 6 games. Someone to take a flyer on in the late rounds, but not somebody I'm really that interested in drafting. Now, here is where it's interesting. Purdy should be healthy at this point, correct? He started the preseason till, I believe, 5 of 6 for 8. Oh, yeah, he's back. We're taking Purdy. We just want a third QB. And now we have full coverage, and we can stack him with our 49ers players. So this team I feel really, really good about. We're going to get one more skill position player. We've got our running backs locked in. We're going to take, honestly, I'm tempted to take a third tight end and be good on the wide receivers. We have so many of them. I think we have bye week coverage. Amon-Ra and Debo have the same bye week, so we could plug in Quentin Johnston and Tyler Lockett. They both have the same bye week along with Amari Cooper. All right, we're going to have to get creative. For that reason, we actually may need to draft another wide receiver just because there's so many players to play along with bye weeks. I think we're going to go for a high upside player. And looking at the board here, I think that it's tough. I think Gallup offers a lot of upside. Kadarius Toney, somebody that, if he could stay healthy, he is a crazy athlete. The Chiefs love to use interesting packages, like somebody that we could just plug in on a bye week. For week 10, weeks 9 and 10 are where we need coverage. And, when the 9 guys are out, we could put the 10 guys in. When the 10 guys are out, we could put the 9 guys in. So I guess not really. We just need another receiver with a different bye week than 5. He does have 10. We could just take KJ Osborne. We're going to take KJ Osborne to stack him with Kirk Cousins, as long as he doesn't get picked the pick before us. KJ Osborne, final pick, locking it in. Some more bye week coverage. And yeah. That's going to do it. All right. First auction draft, $100 draft in the book. Here's how we did. At quarterback, we got Justin Herbert. Our starting running backs, Alvin Kamara and Cam Akers. Our wide receivers are A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown. At tight end, we got George Kittle. And at flex, we got Deebo Samuel, Amari Cooper, Devontae Smith. So doubling up on those Philadelphia receivers, but the value was just too good. At our super flex, we've got Kirk Cousins, and then our bench consists of Kyle Pitts, a backup tight end, who I think has tremendous upside, Tyler Lockett, Rashad Penny, Jamal Williams, Quentin Johnston, Jerick McKinnon, Brock Purdy at backup quarterback, and then KJ Osborne to round it out. So with that being said, I think we absolutely crushed this draft, and I feel extremely good about our chances getting to the playoffs with this squad. We got tremendous values. We have great coverage across the board, a lead upside at every single position, and a bunch of guys to potentially break out that could be great keeper values for 2024. So with that being said, appreciate y'all stopping by, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.